and welcome to the Billowing Hilltop podcast. I hope you're enjoying the festive season. Thanks for listening to us in 2021, and we hope to keep entertaining you in 2022. We're always grateful for any ratings or reviews you could leave on your podcast app of choice that help us with our listings. You can find us on Twitter at Billowing Hilltop, you can find us on Facebook, and of course you can email us at hello@billowinghilltop.com. Right, that's it. Let's push on with episode 71 of the Billowing Hilltop podcast, Auld Lang Shrine. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How was everybody's Christmases?
Yeah, it was fabulous. Thanks very much indeed.
Rubbish. We didn't have anything. There were no Christmas trees, no turkeys. It was rubbish.
No petrol.
Ate too much turkey.
Lucas is in Switzerland, protected from the worst of UK fuck-up PLC. I found some petrol today, by the way.
Of course, it'll all be the other way
petrol.
around by the time we get to Christmas, won't it? You'll all be sitting there swimming in turkey and God knows what.
Swimming in
Swimming
petrol.
in turkey.
Oh, do you know what?
Swimming in
I wish I was swimming in Turkey. If
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
On holiday.
Oh, man, wouldn't that be nice?
On Lane Turkey on the coast. Lovely.
As it is, a little bit anachronistically, bearing in mind it's the day before New Year's Eve, I'm finding it a bit chilly.
Have you made some resolutions?
I've made no resolutions. I'll make them in a couple of days, Graham.
But are you not preparing them?
No, like this evening, I am completely unprepared for everything we're about to do.
As I was
anyway,
saying.
yeah, I've got that weird between Christmas and New Year thing where I don't know what day it is, even though
it's currently October.
Is it? It's not October.
Sorry, September.
It's September.
Even though it's currently
Can you
September.
put your heating on in September? I kind of think October is heating on like minimum. Do you know what I mean?
I've had the heating on once, but it was just very cold. But that was just for an hour or so. But apart from that,
But
as
Anyway,
I was saying earlier on,
So, yes, Paul.
the
as I was saying-
heating's on.
as I was saying earlier on, I was listening to the last canon. They were going on about this 15th, 16th level and how it's a massive admin burden to do that, and they kind of forget bits and bobs of what their characters can do because there's so much of it, and they find themselves at the end of the kind of the feat tree, the chain of things you can do with the feet. And I was thinking that we're 8th level, and in 5e, would this be considered, do you think, the sweet spot? You can do quite
That's
a
a
lot,
really
but
good
it's
question.
not. But we're not
But
overburdened with admin.
Traditionally, yes. But
Yeah, I would say traditionally.
the sweet spot is kind of 8th to 12th, 13th.
I'd kind of go. I always think of the sweet spot as being 5th level for when you get your first fireball
Yeah.
to sort of 12th, 13th, where things start to get a little bit. I don't know. You never know. I don't know about the sweet spot because I don't know how much of it is to do with how well the characters, how the characters, I don't know, the rules or whatever
Isn't
about
the point
characters
of
work.
5e that it's trying to extend? Isn't the point they're
Yes.
trying to extend the sweet spot?
The 5th level's kind of 1E, isn't it? Where you got the fireball and you'd managed to survive that long. You had a little bit of robustness now.
Yeah, your magic useless has got like 18 hit
Fireball.
points. Yeah. I don't know. I wonder how much the sweet spot problem is that adventures themselves tend to get a bit weird when they get high level, less engaging.
Well,
It's
you can circumvent things more easily. So you have to.
And everything tends to become enormous. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like great
has to.
gates of brass with causeways running across rivers of fire. And it all just, I wonder whether or not that's part of it. It's a sort of,
How do you go
I
into a
don't
pub
know.
and order a pint of beer?
Well,
As
you
an
don't. You teleport into the
clever
pub.
fighter. Yeah.
yeah,
You own the pub.
you are the pub.
It's
You've
part of the
given me an
citadel.
idea.
You're a
You've given me
14th
an
level
idea for a
pub.
high level dungeon.
What, they have to go and buy a pint of beer in a
No,
pub
no,
without
no, just-
burning everything
just-
down.
No, but just something more kind of low key, but high
Oh,
level.
Loki. Hey?
No, not Loki.
Hey, giveaway.
No.
Okay.
Anyway, D&D.
I mean, well, yeah. I mean, I think it's they play Pathfinder. I think that would be the thing I would say.
Yeah.
Glass Cannonball. Their patron brings in like $1 million a month now.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I mean, they've got some catching up to do with that. We found Pathfinder at 14th, 15th level. It starts to get, I don't know, just too complicated.
Yeah.
Sheets
You
and
know?
sheets.
We need software.
Yeah, you need software to run. Well, maybe you don't if you're a young, sharp-minded person. But I need Hero Lab or whatever to run any old character nowadays, even in 5e. But do you remember Rune Lords? And we were just when we got to book 6 or whatever,
It's the buffing. It's
we
all the
switched to
buffing.
5e.
You buff up before you go into a room, so you do all these spells, and then
Yeah, it took us ages.
spend half an hour buffing up, and then you go in the room.
There's the whole puzzle thing of stacking bonuses, trying to stick things together that will work. It does all get a little bit much, especially at high level. Paul, I think we are probably in the first half of the theoretical new sweet spot in 5e.
So we better.
As Dan said, they've tried to expand it by changing the way that the numbers roll forward as you go up levels.
What's the highest level we've done for 5e?
8th.
We switched Rune Lords to 5e right at the end.
Did we?
Yeah, and I think people were about 14th, 15th level.
Yeah.
But it was a little bit odd because nobody really understood what was going on because it was almost a first experience of it.
It might be worth going back. I mean, I suppose we'll get there with these characters, won't we? Hopefully, eventually.
That is the plan, yes. Episode, where are we now? I think this is episode 71.
Blimey.
Good evening, reader. Thanks for your patience. So, where are we now? 8th. So, 140. About episode 200. We should be about 20th level, something like that. Anyway, right.
If we get that far.
Where were we? Let us not recap. Let us push on into the bright, golden future of your encounter with Hooves. Hooves.
So I've got 3 spells left.
We didn't do a short rest, did we?
You didn't, because you've got a nasty feeling that your friend Hooves
No, we did do a short rest.
would also welcome a short rest.
We didn't do a long rest.
Johnny's pressed the short rest button, hasn't he?
You decided against it because your suspicion is that your opponent is a warlock, and if you take a short rest, it will regain its spells.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So you gave that a miss. Instead, you basically burnt some healing spells to get yourselves back in a bit of decent shape, and you've headed to the double doors that lead into this shrine.
And now it's Parker's turn.
We're in the middle of Parker's turn, but do you want to?
That's right. Yes. Oh God.
Do you want to zip through how things stand, or do you want to get started and then we just whatever?
Well, you could tell us about the immediate situation just before we finished. I mean, Parker opened the door, and then there's a load of guys.
Your favourite thing. So very, very quickly recapping where we were. You've all headed further into this complex of rooms hidden behind the wine cellar. And you found this awful grub thing growing in a chamber, and you've encountered this evil demonic creature with one green and one grey eye, hooved creature. And you've been fighting Hooves and his Chios worm spawn allies for a while now. And even though you were right up against it last week, you kind of push back. Hooves headed back to what looks like his home shrine ground, and you've decided to go after him rather than let him rest up. That's basically where we left things. Parker has opened the double doors into this shrine area. There's a load of nasty creatures in there, including Hooves, and another one of these hinge-headed horrors, this one with backwards feet. And as Parker stepped into the hallway of this shrine, a couple of things happened. First thing that happened was that Parker was suddenly seized by this feeling of despair that seemed to rise up from the ground through his very body. Second thing that happened was the moment he did so, this hinge-headed, screechy creature at the back of the shrine shrieked. That's a readied action. So Parker, we're in the middle of your turn. We've interrupted it.
Yeah.
So what you've got to do, Parker, there's a couple of things. The first thing that we have to talk about is the effect of this weird aura that you stepped into. You are frightened, Parker. No saving throw, no nothing. You're just frightened. If you've got anything which prevents you from frightened effects, then tell me now.
I have stillness of mind. You can use an
that sounds
action
excellent. Yeah.
to end one effect on yourself that is causing you to be charmed or frightened.
The source of your fear is this green crackling energy.
Right.
You can see this shrine before you with this green crackling beam running across it. That green crackling beam is like you're sucking in despair from it. It's coming up through your very feet. First thing. Second thing is this shriek. You must now give me, please, a wisdom save, which is not bad, I think, for Parker. DC 14. And as I said to Alessandra a couple of weeks ago when she faced the same effect, I don't think I can stress strongly enough how important it is that you make this saving throw.
Okay.
You really, really want to make that save.
You really want to make
that
this
save.
Hold on. Features and
Taking a
traits.
nice, long, loving last look at his character sheet.
No, it's...
Yeah, got any magic?
Okay.
Here we go. New session, you got an Auld dice.
Come on, Lucas.
9.
Oh, it's going to be a
15.
15 is enough. And you are all right. The next
Just
thing, though,
frightened.
You're just frightened until you do something about it. Uncle Buggy, you are also within the effect of this screech. So Uncle Buggy has also got to make a DC 14 wisdom save.
About being frightened.
You don't know what the effect would be were you to fail, but it's a product of this thing screeching at the other side of the shrine.
I've got my ears blocked.
Yes, you're rolling at advantage.
So I'm rolling at advantage. Okay. And it's a wisdom, so I get...
And you've got Auld dice. You're going to be fine, but it is very important that you are fine.
No.
Ooh.
And the next one.
Ooh, that's more like it.
13.
You need another one. Have you not got another one? Would you like to use your Auld dice?
Just trying to see if I've got any bonuses. It's nothing to do with frightened, you say? Dangerous?
It's not to do with being frightened, no. This is interesting. This is back to Paul's point, right? In Pathfinder, we could be here for half an hour looking for bonuses.
Yeah.
5e has definitely reduced all of that widgetry, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like you've got what you've got.
And then it's down to whether you like all that widgetry.
I enjoy the widgetry.
Yeah, so do I.
There's been a lot of discussion in social media in the last few weeks.
Isn't there going to be another edition?
Play style.
5.5 or something.
5.5, whatever they might do with it. Yeah, a lot of speculation about whether or not it's going to be inextricably interrelated with an online tabletop platform, which would be awful news for people like Roll20 and Foundry, and unless of course they're being bought out by Wizards of the Coast. Anyway, sorry, back to Buggy's fail. Save. Fail.
I mean, the wisdom save is... I don't get my proficiency bonus on it, do I?
Only if it's from
Depends
your
on
class.
your class.
Well, I'm a cleric. Oh, no, saving throws +2. Yeah, sorry, yeah. It's
all done? It's all in there?
Auld
okay,
dice.
so
Right.
make a decision. Auld dice,
Auld dice.
or no Auld dice?
What dice?
Auld dice, go for it.
I
Roll
should
a
have
D20.
I should have warmed up the rolls. I always roll crap stuff.
You tried warming up the rolls last time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there you
There
go.
we
Look
go.
down on you.
19.
Absolutely aced it. So you're fine as well, and we continue with Parker's action. Parker, sorry to have interrupted your action, but it's
So
just
what
the
we
way
didn't
it
do
is.
is we didn't say what Johnny got. Johnny, you rolled a 19.
But do I get any sense of what it was exactly?
You
if I'd
feel
failed?
like death has brushed you on the shoulder.
Oh, right. So it might have been a necrotic level, losing levels or something.
It certainly felt like it was something.
Or death.
Well,
Like a
I
way
mean, I don't know how. I
Roll a
don't know.
saving
Yeah,
throw
you
against death.
it felt bad, and it felt like you have shaken off an effect that could have been very serious. That's what it feels like.
God.
Right, Parker.
That's nasty.
Yes, let's pick up with Parker. Pick up a Parker.
Pick up a Parker.
Parker.
Pick up a Parker.
He was a green individual.
Well, I will basically use this stillness of mind, which is my action, to
like a bird.
negate the effect of being frightened. Only question would be, is any value in moving? I don't think so.
You've
What
got
do
an
you think,
action
guys?
and a
If I
remain.
step one square further into the room, does that give you guys an opportunity to step in?
We're at the top of the round, by the way, on 20.
Yeah.
For context, dear readers.
I think so. I mean, we could
Okay,
just
I will
focus on
take
one.
step
guy at a
further into
time.
the room, and that's me.
So you've got Half Skull right next to you, and you've got Bendy Arm in between you and the main shrine. You've got Foot backwards, standing in the shrine, and then Hooves is standing behind Foot backwards, and then you've got this big hinge-headed thing, another hinge-headed thing at the back. Uncle Buggy!
I don't think I'm raging anymore, am I? I guess I'm not.
My notes tell me that Uncle Buggy and Alessandra have got wax in their ears. Nobody else has. Nobody's got any worms on them. Burple's got a few spells left. I think Sessions has got a couple of spells left. The hit point situation is all right for Sessions and Burple, and has been slightly bumped up for Buggy and Parker. Is that roughly where we are? From a low base? 'Cause,
Yeah.
Buggy was trampled into the ground. He was on 0 hit points making death saves. So was
Yeah,
Alessandra.
Alessandra's got 20 odd hit points. That's it.
Okay.
Sessions
Okay,
says
so
it's
as my
about half.
bonus action, I'm casting a spiritual weapon targeted on the one in front of me.
On Half Skull,
Yeah. 17.
Have you got a silent spell, Graham?
17 is a hit on this creature. Yep.
Good question.
And the damage is
Yes, I have silence still.
4 points of radiant damage. Then I am moving up to it. I'm going to bash
it
it
looks
with my.
unwounded, this thing, yep.
I'll bash it with my frostbrand. I'm not raging. I'll bash it with my frostbrand.
The moment you do so,
Yeah.
you're immune to being frightened, don't you? Or you've got some
I'm at
kind of...
advantage.
Okay, there's no saving throw, though. You have the frightened condition the moment you step across the threshold. The source of your fear is this green crackling beam of energy. And you've got disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of the fear is within the line of sight of you, which it is. And you can't willingly move closer to the source of your fear.
So we can't go towards this thing. I
You
can't
can't.
see how we would go and sort this room out.
From outside the room or immune to the effect? I mean, the interesting thing will be to see whether it affects Parker again.
Good question.
How do we fight this thing? I mean,
Some awful aura, unholy aura in this
dispel magic.
shrine is preventing you from... Yeah.
Graham,
Protection.
what are
from
Sessions' turning capabilities like?
Well, I've done it once, and we haven't had a long rest.
I mean, are you talking about him turning and running? Because
Or is it-
they are legendary.
How many did you get?
I can
How
do
many
it
times
twice.
can you
A
do it?
short rest. Have we had a short rest? No.
No.
What about
So I can
things
do it once
like consecrate and all that kind of stuff?
So
Do
you
you
can
do
do
any
it
of that?
once more.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's. I need to do protection from evil. Protection grants several benefits. Target can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed. If the target is already charmed, frightened, or possessed, I have advantage on a new saving throw. I can't cast 2 spells around,
Well,
can
that
I?
sounds like a good option.
I think we worked that out.
You can't
no.
no. If you cast a spell as a bonus action, you can only cast a cantrip as the other spell that you cast.
Okay, well, I'm going to bash this thing then.
Okay, so your first attack with the frost brand. Well, it's not a frost brand. It's a great axe
It's
of
a
frost.
19, so that
And
is
the
a
second
hit.
attack,
The second attack is a
4
4 plus 6. Add 6 into that's 10.
10.
is a miss. Do you have another attack?
Attack again. 16.
Would be enough. Let's have the second roll.
And
Yeah.
Yep, that's a
18.
hit.
Frostbrand damage. It takes 17 points of damage,
Wow.
6 of which is cold.
Okay, fine. It looks quite significantly
And,
wounded by your
that's
attack,
it.
Buggy. We move on to Sessions Epa. Sessions, you heard a horrible scream, but you didn't seem to be affected by it significantly.
Scary stuff.
You've got a blade barrier around you, haven't you?
I've got the Spirit Guardian, so I probably will move up to the corner, out of the line of sight of the wall,
Yeah.
flatten myself there, and wonder what I can do.
Healing.
Yeah, I'm actually, quite low on spells. Who needs healing?
Everyone.
How wounded's Buggy?
I've gone 38 out of 71.
So you've got your
You take
back to
half.
the wall at,
Yeah.
at the side of the door, like a kind of FBI agent waiting to go in. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and I'm thinking about healing someone. How wounded is...
Alessandra's on 20.
Alessandra's not... I can't get to Alessandra from where I am.
That's fine. Do Buggy.
Do Buggy. Okay, I
Or
will...
maybe do your silence spell.
Well, silent spell means the Spirit Guardians comes down.
Oh.
That's just protection from evil. So what I'm going to do this round is I'm going to tap Buggy for a little cure, reach
Is
around
that
the
a
corner
happy
and
stick
stab him
or-
with the happy
I
stick.
reach around. Okay.
You
Reach
got a
around
happy
him.
stick.
Yeah. 11 points of happiness.
Yeah, thank you.
Very nice.
And that's me done.
Right, it's them. First thing that happens is that Half Skull, this Cure spawn creature standing next to Parker and Bugrath, is going to have to pick one as a target. 1 to 3,
I'm only a small hobbit. He's a big
Time
green
honoured.
thing.
tradition. 1 to 3, Buggy.
With glowy eyes.
It hates small things.
I'm a cute, skinny old
Cute,
man.
small, skinny old man. That's the thing it really hates. 4 to 6, Parker, rolling a 5, going for Parker. First attack. It's a slam attack.
There we go.
Hitting armor class. Not very much. Armor class 17. Not going to be enough.
Nope.
Second attack. Missing. Now, Bendy Arm shuffles forward. She says as she staggers forward and waggles her weird, disjointed, misshapen arms at Parker. 17 hitting armor class, 23. That's more like it.
Oh, that's a hit.
You take not that much. You take 5 points of bludgeoning damage, but you have a new guest
Yes.
at Hotel Parker.
But I'm in the
Spirit Guardians.
And a second attack from this thing, hitting armor class 20.
no.
Okay. Right, let's do some saving throws. First one, 7 is a save. Second one, ooh, what's the DC of your Spirit Guardian save sessions?
Wisdom 15.
No, I think this is going to be a fail. It is a fail. Can you give me half damage on one? Well, you can roll a set of damage and one took half, one takes full.
Okay, let me just...
And it's radiant damage, isn't it? That's the important
Radiant. It's radiant, sir.
thing. Radiant, sir. Oh,
14 points.
that seemed to sort of semi-damage Half Skull and more severely damage Bendy Arms. That's them done. Foot backwards is also going to stagger into the fray. It doesn't really understand. They're too dumb to understand. Do you need to be fully inside the... How does the radius of this thing work? Sessions?
I think they use on squares, don't you? It's the...
So no, it
Okay.
wouldn't.
It
I
would-
think he's
so
in
it's
a s-
okay.
Yeah.
It's going to strike at Parker, running a 1. It's going to have to gamble. It's going to gamble.
Oh, lovely. Go on. Miss. Miss.
Ooh, a miss, and it's got to draw
Draw a
a
card.
critical fumble card for itself. That is annoying in the extreme. Critical failed deck. Deal a card to Mike. broken nail. If this attack was made with a claw, you're unable to use it again for 1d4 rounds.
But it doesn't have claws, so that makes no difference.
Finally, we've got Hooves. Hooves points down the hallway at Buggy, at Parker, and he utters some incantation. And in the chamber behind Buggy and Parker, so in the room that the others are waiting in,
Oh dear.
there's this explosion of psychic energy just behind where Parker and Buggy are standing in the doorway, and I think it's going to get everybody because it's a burst that's originating from the point in between you all. Could you please all give me, including them, could you please all give me a DC 17 intelligence save?
Oh bugger. DC 17 intelligence save.
And I'll be making
going to need an
Auld
Auld dice, I think.
Gonna be rolling the Auld dice in a sec.
13.
Here we go.
Alessandra gets a 22.
Oh, I made it!
Legends gets 21. Critical
God, it's
save.
just me, isn't it? Okay, I'm using an Auld dice, Mike.
Okay, I'm just making some rolls for my creatures, and
They're rolling badly.
we've lost one of them, certainly. Okay.
Oh, it's a 16, and then I've got a chance.
You're gonna get it. Plus one.
Yeah, I'm going to get it. Yeah, 17.
Everybody takes half of the following damage.
That's what I was talking about, healing grow.
Might be time to bug out.
Whose idea was it to push on?
It's Dan's fault. 30.
30 points of damage saved for half, so
15.
15 points of psychic damage.
There's an and there, isn't there?
I don't think there is an and. I think everybody saved, right?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. So you take 30 points of psychic damage, Uncle Buggy. And here's the and. As a result, there is an and, which is that you have got muddled thoughts for 1 minute, 10 turns.
Fuck it.
During that time, you are rolling a d6 and subtracting the number rolled from all of your attack rolls, ability checks, and any constitution saving throws you have to make to maintain concentration. Bendy Arm saved, and it nevertheless is looking severely bloodied. Foot backwards failed, is therefore looking almost bloodied, and Half Skull failed and collapses in a pile of wiggly worms.
Oh, thank God for that. That's important.
And this effect...
Can I assume this effect has also taken out the worm that was on me?
Yeah, so that is it for Hooves. He says,
Our secret shrine now, or I shall destroy you all.
and we move on. Oh, I've got to roll a d6 actually for the thing with the funny head. You don't want a 5 or a 6.
The thing with the funny head, I thought that just died.
A 2, no, it's fine.
I need
So
to
we
make a concentration save.
You need to make a concentration save to maintain your spirit guardians.
I'm afraid so, yep. 11, so just.
And we move on to Burple on 5. It's your turn.
So, Mike, can I make a request that you choose temporarily or permanently a slightly different shade of dice? Maybe just for this round.
What, because you want me to start failing saving throws?
Yes, because you never fail against any of my spells. So I'm going to try another spell, knowing inevitably that what the outcome is going to be. And I thought maybe it would just be a good experiment.
I'll tell you what, give me a moment. Let me get I've got an orange set of dice.
Right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Which I tend to use, at D&D weekends and stuff. Do you want me to use them instead?
Yes.
Okay.
He says hesitantly.
I'm using my orange dice. Yeah,
okay,
I'm up for that.
So can I get
Since it's sort of Christmas.
saving throw, an intelligence saving throw, DC 14?
Who's making the save? I need to know the target.
Hooves.
Oh, Hooves. Yes, you can see
So I'm
him just
stepping
through
out,
everybody else.
casting a spell at Hooves.
I
Now,
understand.
If he's immune to being frightened,
Yes.
it has no effect.
Okay, let's just check and see if he's immune to being frightened.
If
I've
he
got a lot of
doesn't,
different... Just give me a
Then
moment,
he
please.
needs to make an intelligence saving throw, DC 14.
The damage resistances of that, and he's got that, and he's got that, and he's got this, and he's got that. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, but he is not immune to being frightened,
Okay,
so far as I can see.
Intelligence save, DC 14.
Here we go with the orange dice. Rolls first roll. He rolls a 10. It's not going to be enough, but he saves at advantage, and he rolls a 19 on the orange dice. Of power. He seems to be unusually resistant to your magic.
Yes, he does, doesn't he?
He does. I'm sorry, but that is that. Have you got anything else? We want to move or do anything else clever? Oh, you've already moved. You've basically run away.
I moved out, did the spell, move back.
Got it. Moving on then to the bottom of the round. Last person in the round.
Cock.
Alessandra. It is your moment.
Right, we have a decision to make, don't we? Are we
How
doing
alive
it?
are you, Alessandra?
She's 6 points alive.
Oh, I don't think there's any decision to make.
You think that both of the creatures that are standing next to Parker in the hallway, in between you and Hooves, are bloodied.
Take a shot at Hooves and head outwards, head away. Shoot across. As you move,
but if I take
away.
a shot, that massively reduces my movement, obviously.
Yeah, but you've got cunning action, right? So you can move twice.
I can move, shoot, and dash.
Right. So
Okay.
I would do that. Have an attack action.
Shoot at Bendium.
No, shoot at Hooves.
Shoot at Hooves. That's an attack at disadvantage because it's out of range. I'm crossbow, not longbow.
You haven't taken the feat
Not yet.
because we are 8th level, right?
Yeah.
So we've just taken it.
Not that feat. I've taken another feat.
So I thought you might have taken that one. Okay, fine.
Yeah. So I'll shoot at Bendium.
Take your shot.
Hitting armor class 20.
Yep, solid.
10 points of normal and another 10 points of sneak attack. So 20 points of damage.
Yeah, Bendy Arm looks really... that Bendy Arm staggers back as the crossbow bolt thuds into its midriff. Worms go splurpling everywhere. It sort of rights itself. It's just like...
And then I will finish my move running north.
Any more move?
I can do a dash action as well, actually.
So you're taking your cunning action as a dash action?
Yep. And I can
I
get
don't know that we're... Okay.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily go that far.
Why not? Aren't we getting out of here? I was thinking of moving right back up towards the staircase out of here.
Okay.
You don't need to go that far.
Why not?
Well, because we're not necessarily completely withdrawing.
We're not necessarily leaving.
Unlikely to get hit by that range thing from where you are.
Okay.
And even if you do, I've got a heal spell. I've got a cure
Okay,
wounds spell.
I'm gonna. In which case, I'm just gonna move to go behind Burple in the
Because you
corridor
might
to
be
the
able
north
to
of this
move
room.
in,
Yeah, I can move in, attack,
shoot
and move back.
move away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, I can do that from there.
But if you
the-
move 5
okay.
foot, it would help Graham. 'Cause it would enable Graham to get out of that room,
the thing we've got to consider
which I think is
now,
what Graham is wanting to do.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
I don't think we're wanting to bug out yet, are we?
Dear reader,
Well-
Alessandra has run to the corridor to the north and has left a little bit of space behind herself so that the sessions can follow.
So, Dan, what's the next? I mean, assuming that we can get rid of these two wormy creatures,
How do
in
we
this
advance
round,
into this room? I mean, I think we pile. I was thinking we pile range stuff onto Hooves. Then we don't really need to worry about the room. But
Right.
if you're immune to the effect, it seems sensible for you to head in.
But the problem is, he's on the other side of this sickly green beam, or whatever it is, this wall of green. And I mean, I'm guessing that moving through that wall of green isn't going to be without some kind of effect, right?
Graham, do you have
So
a
I
spell
can't
magic?
necessarily get up
No.
to him.
You don't.
I'm out of 3rd and 4th level spells. I have 1 second level spell and some 1st level spells.
I mean, I can, of course, produce flames at him, but it's hardly lots of damage. I can only really do good damage on him if I can basically get up to him and get my 3 attacks in on him.
Yeah.
We've got to get rid of these two things first.
Well,
We've got to
yeah, I'm just saying, I think we're close to that. The question is, what do we do after? If you're all sort of advancing out of the way up the corridor,
Well, I can
mean-
still attack, Lucas. I can still come back in and do ranged from where I am
can
now.
we come back again tomorrow?
What, and fight him all over again?
Well, but just him. I mean, how quickly is he going to
Well,
produce?
it's their area, so he can get reinforcements, surely.
Yeah, but, well, presume... Yeah,
I
but,
don't know.
I mean, have we not killed them all?
Yeah, I don't know if that would
we've
be the
killed all
case.
the undead, but there are guards upstairs.
I think the
The
thing
whole place
is
is. I don't think we can leave this.
I don't know. I've got 6 points, so I can.
I know.
I'm happy
I
to
understand the situation. I've got a 4th level and a 1st level spell left,
And Graham's
and
pretty
I've
much
got
out of
15
spells.
hit points.
Yeah, and Johnny's confused. So
I
I
haven't
don't
got many hit points left.
I don't think we're in much of a position to kind of stick around and take on Hooves.
Well, I doubt
Because another
I
one of
doubt
those
they are
spells.
either. Yeah.
Another one of those spells, and I think even if we all save, we're all down.
Yeah.
So it becomes a mission
But
of
we've-
trying to drag bodies out of there rather than.
I think if he's got another one of those, then we're screwed, aren't we?
Yeah.
The question is, does he have another one of those? It's a bit of a gamble, really.
Yeah.
We've done 2.
He's done 2,
But
yeah.
he's a warlock. Don't they get a shitload of the same spell?
I mean, metagaming from a story point of view, we're now going to go back up and be able to be very explicit about what's down here. I mean, surely this point is where we start triggering the story of the conspiracy being exposed.
Yes, but I don't know how much help we'll get for it.
Well, nor do I, but I mean, if you were to now come up and basically explain what we'd just done, all hell would break loose.
I don't know. I'm not a great believer in the idea that you go and start broadcasting stuff and suddenly an army is available to you.
I'm not saying an army's available. What I'm saying is the point of this story is it's about there's some conspiracy going on, and we've basically been playing sort of scouts for Eligos. Right?
I don't think she'll bring anything to bear. I don't think she'll just go, oh, that's terrible. What are you going to do about it?
Possibly.
Let's pick things up at the top of the next round with Parker on 20. Parker.
I'm going to hit these two things anyway. That's at least the first. I will hit the one that's right next to the right of me. Hitting armor class 22.
On bendy arms, yep. She reels.
Doing 8 points of damage.
Yep.
Dead.
Bloodied, like I said. So bloodied normally means about half-ish.
God. Second attack.
Foot backwards was
3E, bloodied.
Bloodied is a
Armor
4E
class
concept.
12.
Yeah. 12 is a hit, Parker.
Another 8 points of damage. I am going to do an unarmed strike on it because I'm in the Spirit Guardians, so I'm not that worried about worms.
Okay.
14.
Hit.
8 points of damage.
And this thing really looks like it's clinging on to undeath with its little bony fingers. Now, I'm going to roll a d4.
Yes.
You are now the proud owner of 3 worms, Parker.
Lovely.
Wibble off it.
If you unplug, at the moment, you've got potentially an area at the back where we...
Unplug?
I'm just saying that the area of effect can't get all of us because we're spread enough. So...
unplug the corridor. Sorry, gotcha.
Yeah. If you move back...
Well, I'm not going to move back now because that would be an attack of opportunity.
Yeah, that's true.
It seems pointless. So I'm just going to stay where I am for now. The moment I'm in front of Buggy.
Remember that Buggy is
I don't know
rolling
where to run away.
minus a d6, and that Buggy is frightened.
So I'm actually going to stay where I am.
How wounded are you?
I'm on 28 hit points.
Uncle Buggy on 16.
Not entirely sure what to do. I've got my spiritual weapon. Parker, do you want me to use it to get a worm off or bash the thing in front of you?
Bash the thing, because the worms will disappear in
because of
a minute.
I'm going to bash the ghoul thing that's attacking Parker, the weak one. 17, it's minus 1d6, is it? Does that affect the...
It does, yes. It's you're making the attack, so yeah.
So that's a 14.
There's a hit. How much damage
But
is
I'm
that?
attacking at disadvantage, so I have to roll again.
Oh, yeah.
11 minus 12. That's a hit.
12 is a hit.
Great. So it's 6 points of damage on the weaker one.
Oof. Very close to death.
The only other thing I can think of is doing a protection from evil might get rid of this frighten thing, otherwise I'm not going to be able to get any further. The other option is to bug out.
That's how the phrase was originated.
Am I allowed to bug out as a frontline fighter?
You're leaving Parker alone. It's not...
Yes.
Try the protection from evil.
Do you want me to give you a bit of Christmas spirit advice on the protection from evil?
Yes, please.
You think that...
Well, should you be giving us that Christmas advice?
I think you might want to step out before you do it.
It's just,
I mean, spreading out is not a bad idea.
Yeah, the target also can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them.
It says
The
if
tricky
I'm
thing might
already
be-
frightened, I get advantage on saving throws, but I wasn't given a save, so I don't know what
If the target is already charmed, frightened, or possessed by such a creature, the target has an advantage on any new saving throw against the relevant.
Yeah, but there is no
Yeah,
save.
there is no new saving throw. We've walked into my Christmassy advice.
It's
You can
a
see
bit
what
mean,
I'm thinking. Dan may have a... Anyway, I'm gonna stay silent.
What?
No, don't worry.
Well, if I step out of the area of the green beam,
Yes.
no longer frightened, do the protection wheel, go
prevents
back
you
in.
from being frightened, but you're currently frightened, which means you're not going to get a saving throw. So if you go out so that you're not frightened and then do it, you don't need a saving. You don't need a saving throw because it will prevent
And
the
go
effect
back
in the
in.
first instance.
Yeah.
That's my logic anyway.
The trouble is, if he does one
very
more
clever, Dan.
psychic
Yes,
blast,
I know.
then I'm
We're
dead.
all in the same boat there.
Am I allowed
I
to
think
bug
it's
out?
not a terrible idea. I mean,
we're gonna
Lucas
get-
is the one you'd be leaving.
No, but doing what Dan said seems to me to be a sensible idea.
Okay, I can move 140 feet.
Well, you could also hit and move, couldn't you?
Why do you need to do double?
I can't move forward.
Why don't you
You
just
got any-
move
what
out
other- what
round the
spells have you got
corner,
then?
see if you're still frightened,
couple of
And if
protection.
you're not, then you can cast your protection from evil and come back in next round.
If you go too far back, you can't get back into the fray.
Well, I can because I move very fast. It's just if I go in this side corridor to that weird machine room, it means I'm out of any radius of effect. But I've only used one movement up. Now I can do
like that. But your move back doesn't get you very far necessarily. Probably 2 moves back to get further. And we have heals and things that we could potentially be doing next.
All right.
Well,
I'm going to play it safe because if he teleports or Misty Steps into an area and we're all bunched up, it's just going to be a bloodbath.
Okay.
So I'm going to play it safe. Yeah, I'm not going to get there in a next round in one go. So I'm going down the side corridor to the machine room. So I'm moving
back
70 feet back,
around the corner and doing a spell.
and then I'm doing a protection from evil.
You're no longer frightened the moment you cross the threshold out of the shrine area, and it's Sessions on 13.
Dear Sessions now having a bit of a crisis of conscience. My original plan was to move into the pocket in the corridor between Burple and Alessandra and do some healing. But then I've just realised that Parker's waiting for the Session Guardians to kill his worms.
You could move up and do a heal on Parker.
But then I have to go past the frightenedy thing, don't I?
Yes, you do.
So
you do.
What I think I'm going to do...
How many hit points have you got?
I've got like
Why don't you heal
26.
yourself? Move back and
6
heal
hit
yourself.
points. Oh.
No, but then if I move, then I take Parker out of the Guardians. So what I'm going to do...
I've got a heal.
I'm readying, to run away. And my
So you're readying a move action.
I'm readying a move action, and my trigger for my move action is when Parker lets me know his worm is dead.
Oh.
Gotcha.
But you could heal
I
yourself.
completely understand.
Then I can't ready to run away.
Yeah.
Final decision? Is that it?
No, that's it. That's definitely what I'm planning.
Yeah,
to
fair
do.
enough.
So just let me
Okay.
know when it's dead.
Okay, so here we go. It is our friends the evildoers. Kios spawn zombies, hooves, and all of that. Let's start with the spawn zombie begins its round in the Spirit Guardians.
Yes.
Let's make a saving throw,
Yes.
which it makes at advantage, but manages nevertheless to fail.
13 points of damage.
And that is the end of Bendy Arm. She is just sliced down by a flurry of spectral playing cards. Collapses onto the ground. Now, the worms on Parker are all destroyed.
Yes.
Sounds like my work is done.
Parker, would you like to...
Parker, free action to say,
What?
worms are clear.
What was it you wanted me to say?
Clear!
Okay,
And Sessions waddles his way back into the pocket.
triggering
Bugging
Sessions
out
is
as
ready to
well.
action. So Sessions is running up. So we've got everybody apart from Parker in a little queue heading north back to the wine cellar steps. Then...
This looks very like running away to me.
No,
We
we're
have-
regrouping and healing.
Yeah.
hinge-headed horror zombie. Rolling a d6. I want a 5 or a 6. You don't want me to get a 5 or a 6. I get a
Which one's
3.
horror zombie?
Thank God for that. The one right
Horror
at the
zombie
back.
is the one right at the far end of the shrine, hanging
that foot
around a little
backwards?
passageway that seems to lead off further to the east. The label is foot backwards because
Right.
it's a copy of a thing, but it's
Got it.
we're calling
Okay.
it horror
Yep.
zombie. Yep.
No, it's fine.
In fact, let's just make
It's
that
fine, it's-
official.
It's just a bit shoddy work, that's all.
It is shoddy.
It's the attention to detail, Mike. I've
The
told you a
member
million
of
times.
staff responsible has already been dismissed. Anyway, foot backwards attacking Parker. First attack misses. Second slam attack rolls an 18. I like these orange dice, Bob. I don't think I'm going back. Hitting armor class 24,
God. that's
doing
a hit.
the following amount of bludgeoning damage, 6 points of bludgeoning damage, and guess what?
Yes, I know.
You are a newly wormed or worm host. You're a little bug hotel. And then Hooves
Hoping that Sessions will move back again.
stomps its
soon.
way up towards you.
Oh,
Now, little green man, you must die.
And it thumps at you with its magic hammer. Hitting armor class 20.
no.
And its second attack,
+9. Ooh.
rolling on the orange dice. A 20 on the orange
sake.
dice. Goodness gracious me.
What is this
It's not
stuff
my
about
fault,
blue
then
and
you
orange
can't blame
dice?
me.
Yes, it
It is your fault.
Of course
Now.
I can blame you.
I said
Wouldn't have happened
temporarily.
on the
I
blue
said
dice.
temporarily. I
Right.
think he should. I don't think we should count these orange dice because you should have gone back to blue. That was the agreement.
Popping into existence in midair, a little silver-haired man in a gold lame suit. He says, "Hello, Hooves. You've rolled a 20. Thanks for coming all this way. Now, Hooves, you've got a decision to make. You can roll now, or you got the chance to gamble for a potentially life-changing amount of damage. Would you like to gamble, or are you going to stick with what you got?"
I'll take the money, thanks.
And Hooves rolls his damage on you. Now, it's a lot of damage. You've got your relentless endurance, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't think we need... How many hit points are you on?
28.
Ooh, okay. No, this is, it's possible.
But that you won't.
Let's start
die.
with... It's
possible you won't go down.
Yeah, exactly. You might be all right.
I'm just so up for getting a critical hit on this.
For starters, it does 2d8 plus 5 bludgeoning damage. That is 10 points of bludgeoning damage. And then, what alignment are you, Parker?
Just make yourself neutral. Neutral's always a good
Let's
one.
have a look. I mean, if
Pretty sure I was neutral.
Chaotic neutral, something like that.
Lawful neutral.
Did you just say lawful?
Oh, God.
I'm just yanking your chain. You're fine. Okay, so, but it does nevertheless do some extra damage on you. Some necrotic damage. I get to roll the dice 4 times. So it's a further 13, 16, 21 necrotic damage. And if you'd been good aligned, we would just be getting started. Where does that put you?
That puts me
Into your relentless endurance.
into my
Endurance.
in relentless.
It puts you into your relentless. The last time you said it was relentless entubement. You just can't get the words out. Hooves goes,
How are you still standing? 20 months.
I just
and it
stick my
is Burple on 5.
2 fingers up at him.
Okay, here's the situation, guys. I could move up and do a confusion on one of those guys. Probably not on Hooves because he's got resistance, but on maybe the hooky, the open mouth hinge head guy, who could potentially try and attack the nearest target. Or I could do a 4th level heal spell, cure spell on Uncle Buggy. Or I could save it and do a counter charm, but nobody else is going in that room, right?
Yeah.
Or I could do a fairy fire, which would be my last 1st level.
I don't think I can go in and fight it with 17 hit points.
I'm running away
19 hit points.
at this point.
Yeah, Dan, I think...
Because it's going to hit me again next round and then I'm going to be dead.
The tank is dry, Dan.
So, yeah.
So are we running away?
Yes.
I could get a hit in, but then effectively he's going to get an attack of opportunity.
We're nowhere near.
No, I'm
next
hearing
round
you. I'm
is
just
withdrawing.
now working out how that would work.
Has he taken any damage, this Hoof thing?
Do you think the Hoof thing? He's taken quite a bit of damage.
But he's not bloodied, and...
maybe not
If
quite.
I had a load of hit points, I could go in and bash it with someone else.
Yeah, I mean, if I had a
I've
load
got
of hit
48
points,
plus
I could go
3.
and bash him.
Yeah, I don't want to
The point
overstate.
is I can get.
I don't want to overstate how wounded he is, but you have done significant amounts of damage on him.
The thing is if we're going to do it, we've all got to do it in this round. If we can all get attacks in on him and we all do lots of damage, then we've got a chance.
You're on
I do
one,
my
yeah?
damage and you all do damage and we take him down.
Are we going to be able
That's
to?
sort of, or we run
Are
away.
we going to be able to do enough damage to take him down in a round?
I don't know, but that's all we've got. Can I make a medicine check to see how?
Yes.
Okay.
To the extent that I can give you something that's useful. Okay, it's always going to be slightly
3.
cautious. Okay,
Fuck's
you think
sake.
he's
And that's
looking
an
at
8 in total.
Okay, an 8 is not an absolute disgrace, but it's not the number I had in mind.
Yeah.
If he was bloodied, I would have said so. You think he's significantly wounded, but perhaps not quite bloodied. That's really not telling you any more than you already knew.
And we need to do, I don't know, some 80 to 100 hit points on him.
Well, we
Probably,
can't do.
Yeah?
He's got resistance to our spells.
Yes. So, I don't... Bugroff is not going to go back in. He's too far away and won't go back in.
I can move up in 1 round.
But you're not going to go back in, are you?
If I had hit points, then maybe.
Yeah, but
you
you've got to do your protection from evil spell.
I did it
first,
last
haven't
time.
you? Oh, you did it, right? Okay.
But Johnny, are you going to go back in?
If I have
I
some
can
hit...
give you
well,
4d8 plus 3.
And basically 4d8 plus 3 puts us in a position where one of us is going to still be standing at the end of his next round.
But the point is that Buggy can run in and that's effectively, it's not effectively double that, is it? So that's what, 20-ish points of damage, points of healing.
Yeah.
And that is...
Sessions, can you heal me?
Not where you currently are. I don't have enough movement to get to you.
I think in order to succeed at this, it would require everybody to do significant damage, no misses, and him not to be able to do
Oh, and I've
something.
got a worm on me, haven't I?
Yeah, and not for him to be able to do something where even if we save, half damage is 20 hit points. I think that ship has sailed in a way.
We got Spirit Guardians as well.
It's not.
Graham moves up.
It's not making that much
I have
difference.
two options. I could basically ready a dimension door for when Parker comes back, and then everyone else can move. Parker comes back and we just bug out.
Yeah.
Or
let's do that.
Or I can do the cure wounds, the 4th level cure wounds on Buggy, and Buggy runs back in.
Trouble with me is that I can't raid because I have to concentrate on the protection from evil. But I could run in with it on me. If I can move up to him, then I can start raging, and then if I'm then frightened, as long as he's not moving away from me, I can still hit him, I guess. I just can't move towards him, can I? If he's moving away.
So basically, the long and the short of it is we're not going to take him down this round. Buggy, if he was there standing alone with an extra 20 hit points, could probably survive a round.
I would.
Yeah, in which case you use the withdraw action, or whatever it's called, the disengage, and move back. Buggy moves in. They take a round on Buggy. He's on next to nothing. But then we've had a round of damage on Hooves, and then we have another round with Buggy there. So it is potentially doable, but it's basically it's a Hail Mary. It's all or nothing if we do that.
It's a Hail Mary.
Session moves up with the Spirit Guardians and heals Parker.
If Buggy goes down,
I think we're
doing
going
damage
down,
and healing.
It's just lunacy. It requires everybody to hit. It requires everything to work in perfect order. It requires him not to have a massive smell.
Well, he did just critical. It doesn't do that every round.
No, but we're all pretty low. We're all kind of...
What does Sessions say, although I suspect he's just going to roll a dice?
In terms of what to do?
Yeah.
These guys aren't going anywhere, yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, clearly they've got their monster and they've got their special power thing feeding it. I think we know where it is now.
We know where you live.
I think to stay requires everything to go in our favour. Absolutely everything.
Yeah.
Not a single thing to go wrong, and that just doesn't happen.
I love this game. I'm all for this kind of discussion because it's fun and it's interesting, and but it is decision time. And I think, therefore, that we have reached the perfect point at which to leave things.
Don't believe it.
And cause maximum frustration to 9 out of 10 readers, and I mean that statistic literally,
both of them,
not figuratively. We should pick things up next week.
Okay.
Thank you very much for that.
Not a thinking to do.
Should I stay or should I go?
No.
It's always knees when you stick me on a bee.
The Billowing Hilltop podcast is a Billowing Hilltop production. Dungeons & Dragons is a trademark of Wizards of the Coast. The Champion's Belt and Age of Worms are copyright Paizo. The Champion's Belt was written by Tito Lietti. Music is from Kevin MacLeod and Incompetech.com and is used with thanks under the Creative Commons license. Additional music and sound effects come from the wonderful Sirenscape. All other original material is copyright Billowing Hilltop. Role-playing games are all about getting people together, and we use Roll20 as our tabletop, the perfect place to host your game, and Discord to host our chat. Thanks for listening!